Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Soap the Great with another practical Minecraft tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to build this 3x3 double-sided funnel door. So it's 3x3, that's easy to see. Let's go on through and you can see the double-sided nature there. Remember the design from the other side? There we go. Double-sided. It is the same design on this side as it is on the other side, and the funnel door happens to just be a door that is inset on the inside. So that is it. This is not something you're going to use for a hidden base or anything. This announces very clearly that it is a door and there is something behind it and you want to go through it. So I would not use it for your secret base. I would just use it for walls or castles, or stuff that you don't mind having a door on the front. But enough about the door. Let's take a look at the redstone. Alright ladies and gentlemen, this is the door completely stripped of all of the decorative blocks, and you can see it's fairly compact. It takes up a 3x9x11 area, and it includes a couple of options for switches to turn it on and off, but I don't want to spend too much time on this part. Let's get into building it, shall we? As in most of my previous tutorials, you will find a link to the world download in the description below. If you choose not to get that to follow along with, you can just take a screenshot of the materials here. Let me make a couple of notes for you real quick. This top portion is for an optional T flip-flop that you can use to activate the door. Also, I'm using red, yellow, and blue wool to highlight different portions of the overall circuit. You can combine all of those into, 18 blocks of choice. As long as it can carry a redstone signal, it will be fine, okay? So don't use glowstone. It does need to be a solid block, but that's enough about that. Let's move on, shall we? So the overall design, you're going to need a 3x9x11 area of space, but the circuit is going to get started off with a 1x5 area. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our red wool down, and that is our input, okay? So that's why I'm using red wool. We're not going to need red wool anymore. We are going to need a lever, however. We'll just drop that on there, and then we're going to spike a torch on top of the red wool, and then we'll come up with yellow wool, and then we'll continue this torch up here, and then another piece of yellow wool, and then out of the red wool we need to take a redstone repeater set on full delay, and we're going to come up with some more block of choice, and then we'll need to set up the double piston extender with 2 sticky pistons facing upwards. We'll come down here, we'll face a sticky piston out, put a block of redstone right there, a block of choice right there, a redstone comparator facing out, and then we're going to put a dropper facing up, and then on top of that dropper a hopper facing into that. And then what you're going to want to do is put a dead bush into that dropper, and then we'll fill out what is going to become the floor just a little bit, and we can do a quick test, and we get our double piston extension and retraction, and that is the double piston extender all done. Let me give a note of credit where credit is due. There's a link in the description to the Minecraft forum post where this one wide double piston extender is mentioned, and that way you can take a look at the originator of this. This is not original to me, but let's move on to the rest of the door, shall we? Alright, now we can start working on the rest of the door. What we're going to do is we want to come up here and fill in the bottom portion of the door. These are going to be the bottom pistons for extending that portion of the door. So we want 2 sticky pistons facing up on either side of the top piston in the double piston extender. Then we can start filling out our floor area here, and I am using iron blocks. You can use whatever your decoration happens to be, and then I'm also using a piece of glowstone as the extension block. Just a note, this piece of iron block right here is part of the circuit, and it needs to be a solid block, but you can fill that in with your decorative block of choice. Okay, so next up we're going to come out and fill up with just the portions of the door that we need for the time being, like so. Knock that out, and like so. There we go. And then we'll come up one and come across and get that. And we don't need, I'm just knocking out the blocks that we don't need right now. We'll come back to that. So let me show you now. What we need to do is get our sticky pistons for each part of the door, and we need them facing inwards, and that can be a little bit tricky sometimes, making sure that they face the right direction, and we want to carry that all the way around to each of those upward pieces. Alright, so I will do that and then bring you back. Alright, the sides of the door are complete. Now let's take a look at getting this top portion done. So we'll go up 2 and then drop down, and we want to make sure that this sticky piston is facing down. Same there, same there. No. Again, it can be rather tricky to get that, and we want to continue that on this side. Go up 2, knock out the bottom, get close enough, face upwards, and you can just kind of hit the top part there. And that is the door portion all done. Alright, so now that our sticky pistons are all in place, we need to connect them up, start running some redstone out of that. So what we need to do is take a repeater, come out from this block right here on top of this yellow piece of wool here, and I'm switching to blue wool as our circuit. And what we want to do is come up here, have that repeater facing in, and then we're going to come up like so, and then we want to come down. We'll grab a slab and come around like this, and like this. We can knock out this one, and we want repeaters facing in. That's not a repeater. Repeater facing in like that, and like that. Then we'll come over with the, why did I knock that out? There we go. And then what we want to do is carry some redstone dust there and there, and then what we're going to knock that out, and we're going to come on up like so and like so, and we'll carry the dust on up like so and so. We'll come up here just to make sure we get everything lined up correctly. We want that kind of configuration. We'll come out with a slab, and we want to make sure these are all top facing half slabs, and that is because they need to carry a redstone signal. We're carrying this on up, so we'll do dust, 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 dust all the way across the top, and then we're going to stair step this back down. Let me show you the configuration that you want. We want it kind of like that, and like this. We'll knock out the blocks we don't need, and we're going to carry the dust all the way down like that. And let's just give it a quick test, and there we go. We should see that it closes like that, and then open it up, and there we go. And let me show you how you can fill this in. All of that can be filled in like that, and even on the sides there, there, and there, so you have a unified hallway. There we go. And that is it for the door. Alright, so I told you I would show you the optional input. So what we're going to do, we're still going to run a signal into this piece of red wool here. We're going to knock out those 2 blocks, and we'll have a dropper facing up. We'll drop down here, hold shift, and have a dropper facing towards the red piece of red wool. We'll put a hopper facing into the bottom dropper and a comparator facing out. We'll put a button on top of this, and then up here, once again, we need a dead bush, and you should hear it activate, and we can hit that button and deactivates. Hit it again. There we go. That is the T flip-flop version of the input all done. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, a like is always appreciated. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.